113th United States Congress.
The 113th United States Congress is the current meeting of the legislative branch of the United States federal government. It is composed of the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives based on the results of the 2012 Senate elections and the 2012 House elections. The seats in the House were apportioned based on the 2010 United States Census. It first met in Washington, D.C. on January 3, 2013, and is scheduled to end on January 3, 2015. Senators elected to regular terms in 2008 are in the last 2 years of those terms during this Congress. At its outset, this Congress had 43 African American members, all but one in the House of Representatives, and a record high number of female, 100, and LGBT, 8, members. Only 19% of its members have active duty military service background, which is down from 80% in 1977. According to a Gallup poll released in July 2013, the 113th Congress had the highest disapproval rating of any Congress since 1974, when data first started being collected. 78% of Americans surveyed said that they disapproved of the job Congress was doing, while only 15% said that they approved. In October 2013, during the government shutdown, this slipped to 10% approval according to several polls.
Major events.
January 3, 2013, election of Speaker. Incumbent Speaker John Boehner was re-elected despite the largest number of defections in the vote for Speaker since at least 1991. January 4, 2013, joint session to count the Electoral College votes for the 2012 presidential election. January 20 to 21, 2013, second inauguration of President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden. The terms began January 20, but because that was a Sunday, the Joint Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies scheduled the inauguration ceremony for the next day, February 12, 2013, joint session to hear the 2013 State of the Union Address, March 6 to 7, 2013. Senator Ron Paul led a filibuster of the nomination of John O. Brennan for Director of the Central Intelligence Agency with a 12-hour, 52-minute speech. July 16, 2013, the Senate reached a deal to allow some presidential nominations to come to a vote, avoiding the nuclear option for filibuster reform. September 24 to 25, 2013, Senator Ted Cruz delivered a 21-hour, 19-minute speech, one of the longest in Senate history, in opposition to the Affordable Care Act. Cruz's speech was not a filibuster, as it delayed no vote. October 1 to 17, 2013, the United States federal government was shut down as most routine operations were curtailed after Congress failed to enact legislation appropriating funds for fiscal year 2014, or a continuing resolution for the interim authorization of appropriations for fiscal year 2014. October 3, 2013. United States Capitol shooting incident, November 21, 2013, nuclear option for filibuster reform was enacted.
Major legislation enacted.
March 7, 2013, Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2013, Pub Bell. 113-4, March 13, 2013. Pandemic and All Hazards Preparedness Reauthorization Act of 2013, Pub Bell. 113-5, March 26, 2013, 2013 United States Federal Budget, as Consolidated and Further Continuing Appropriations Act, 2013, Pub Bell. 113-6, June 3, 2013, Stolen Valor Act of 2013, Pub Bell. 113-12, August 9, 2013, Hydropower Regulatory Efficiency Act of 2013, Pub Bell. 113-23, August 9, 2013, Bipartisan Student Loan Certainty Act of 2013, Pub Bell. 113-28, August 9, 2013, Reverse Mortgage Stabilization Act of 2013, Pub Bell. 113-29, September 30, 2013, Pay Our Military Act, Pub Bell. 113-39, November 27, 2013, Drug Quality and Security Act, Pub Bell. 113-54, January 17, 2014, Consolidated Appropriations Act, 2014, Pub Bell. 113-76, H.R. 3547, February 7, 2014, Agricultural Act of 2014, Pub Bell. 113-79, March 21, 2014, Homeowner Flood Insurance Affordability Act of 2014, Pub Bell. 113-89, April 3, 2014, Gabriel Miller Kids First Research Act, Pub Bell. 113-94, April 3, 2014, Support for the Sovereignty, Integrity, Democracy, and Economic Stability of Ukraine Act of 2014, Pub Bell. 113-95.
Proposed.
2014 United States Federal Budget, H. Con Res. 25, S. Con Res. 8, Justice Safety Valve Act of 2013, S. 619, H.R. 1695, Marketplace Fairness Act of 2013, H.R. 684, S. 743, also known as the Internet Sales Tax, Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013, S. 744, also known as the Immigration Bill.
Appropriations bills.
Military Construction and Veterans Affairs, and Related Agencies Appropriations Act, 2014, H.R. 2216, proposed, Department of Homeland Security Appropriations Act, 2014, H.R. 2217, proposed, Energy and Water Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act, 2014, H.R. 2609, proposed.
Party summary. House of Representatives. Leadership. Senate.
President, Joe Biden, D. President pro tempore, Patrick Lee, D.
Majority Democratic leadership.
Majority Leader and Caucus Chair, Harry Reid, Assistant Majority Leader, Majority Whip, Dick Durbin, Caucus Vice Chair and Policy Committee Chair, Chuck Schumer, Caucus Secretary, Patty Murray, Senatorial Campaign Committee Chair, Michael Bennet, Policy Committee Vice Chair, Debbie Stabenow, Steering and Outreach Committee Chair, Mark Begich, Steering and Outreach Committee Vice Chair, Jan Shaheen, Chief Deputy Whip, Barbara Boxer.
Minority Republican leadership.
Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, Assistant Minority Leader, Minority Whip, John Cornyn, Conference Chairman, John Thune, Conference Vice Chair, Roy Blunt, Senatorial Committee Chair, Jerry Moran, Policy Committee Chairman, John Barrasso, Deputy Whips, Roy Blunt, Richard Burr, Mike Crapo, Saxby Chambliss, Rob Portman, David Vitter, Roger Wicker.
House of Representatives.
Speaker, John Boehner, R.
Majority Republican leadership.
Majority Leader, Eric Cantor, Majority Whip, Kevin McCarthy, Majority Chief Deputy Whip, Peter Roskam, Conference Chair, Kathy McMorris Rogers, Conference Vice Chair, Lynn Jenkins, Conference Secretary, Virginia Foxx, Campaign Committee Chairman, Greg Walden, Policy Committee Chairman, James Langford.
Minority Democratic leadership.
Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi, Minority Whip, Steny Hoyer, Assistant Democratic Leader, Jim Clyburn, Caucus Chairman, Xavier Becerra, Caucus Vice Chairman, Joseph Crowley, Campaign Committee Chairman, Steve Israel, Steering Policy Committee Co-Chairs, Rosa DeLauro, Organization, Study, and Review Chairman, Mike Cafuano, Senior Chief Deputy Minority Whip, John Lewis, Chief Deputy Minority Whips, Maxine Waters, Jim Matheson, Ed Pastor, Jan Schakowsky, Diana DeGette, G.K. Butterfield, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Peter Welch.
Members. Senate.
Senators are listed by state, and the numbers refer to their Senate classes.
House of Representatives.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Non-voting members.
Changes in membership. House of Representatives. Committees.
Listed alphabetically by chamber, including chairperson and ranking member.
House of Representatives.
Sources: H. Res. 6, H. Res. 7.
Joint Committees.
Economic, Kevin Brady, Amy Klobuchar. Inaugural Ceremonies, Special, Chuck Schumer, Lamar Alexander. The Library, Greg Harper, Chuck Schumer. Printing, Chuck Schumer, Greg Harper. Taxation, Vacant, Dave Camp.